So, how was your Father's Day weekend?
It was good. It was great. It was great. I got my phone was blowing up all morning. You know, wake up. I'm like, damn, how many texts I'm gonna get?
Right.
And I forgot it was Father's Day, so I appreciate the love that I received. But you know, I had some issues about Father's Day.
What was your issues?
It was Father's Day. Okay, Father's Day is basically a day for men to be celebrated with fathers. As men to be celebrated.
Right.
But I'm looking at Facebook and I see Happy Father's Day to my mamas and things like that, to the single mothers. And no stripe against single mothers, but it was for the fathers. We celebrate Mother's Day, and we go all out. If you don't go all out, you looked at it as a sorry dad or sorry son. So I felt like it should have been praised. And it wasn't. You know, we had a lot of women that was being praised.
You thought it should, who, the father should have been praised more?
Yeah, it was a day for the fathers.
Okay.
So, I had an issue with it. I mean, I understand, I basically grew up in a semi-single home. So,
with just your mom.
Right, my mom was 17. Shout out to mama.
Shout out to my mama too, because she was that age too.
17? Why? 16? What they were doing at 16?
Fucking.
Sorry,
mama.
Don't say
I know
that.
you don't see this.
Don't say that. I was born immaculate.
Okay.
My mom ain't do nothing. So, yeah, and I respect my mom for Mother's Day. You know, she deserved it. But, you know, even though my father wasn't involved in my life, I didn't hold it against him. I still went out and saluted him for Father's Day. Hey, if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
Even though they ain't do nothing, they ain't have sex or nothing. Somehow I got here.
What?
Yeah, man, they ain't do nothing.
That's a different story. I mean,
Right.
Okay.
A man don't like to hear that about their mom having relations. Oh my God. But yeah, I just had a problem with it. You know, it was a day for the fathers, and I think it was kind of selfish of some people to say, I understand that your mom probably raised you, but it was things that mom can't tell you what fathers can. Whether it's a woman, on your perspective, whether it's a man, you know, things that mom just could not show me. And I understand it, but it was the love. Mom gave me much love, provided for me and all, but that was my concern about it, you know. And it make us look bad as a community. Shout out to my mama for Father's Day. Shout out to me for Father's Day. Hey, you slept with that guy. You knew who you was sleeping with. So, hey, you take that up with yourself. You knew what he was when you had him. You like that swag that he had at the time, but he ain't had no money with it. But you like that swag. But now you hate him. Hey, it's too late.
Right.
You know, you don't have to put it on TV.
Right.
That was my thing. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, you know, there are a lot of women out there that take on the father roles, and you know, they do deserve some praises, you know, because the fathers aren't there, and they have to take. They are the ones who are feeding and clothing the kids. They are the one that's teaching the kids life lessons. I mean, you know, a lot of times single parents households where it's just the mom, she does have maybe some male cousins or, you know, uncles or grandfather or, you know, her father that may be present that can also maybe lend, you know, lend some of those fatherly teachings to the child. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. But, yeah, my father wasn't there either. But shout out to him, wherever he is. But, I do have a stepfather that is a very awesome, cool person. So, you know.
Shout out to my stepdad, too.
Right. So, you know, and then growing up, you know, I learned a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, that I guess a father would teach his daughter from, like, people I grew up with in my neighborhood. You know, they would be sort of like big brothers to me, or it could be my male cousins, or it could be my uncles, or, you know, things like that. So, you know, it is other ways to still get that fatherly advice, even though he's not in the household. But, you know,
I guess.
Yeah.
Shout out, it's Father's Day.
Yeah, so shout out to all the dads. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. Speaking of fathers, you heard about Allen Iverson ex-wife. You know, he had the little issue with possibly going to jail for unpaid child support.
Right.
But come to find out now, they announced that his ex-wife says that, you know, he didn't drop the kids off when he was supposed to, and that he possibly kidnapped them. Isn't that crazy?
As a man, how you gonna kidnap your own children? Them his children. He ain't kidnap them.
But I'm sure the courts probably had, you know, set up certain times, and you know what I mean.
So he should
for him to see the kids, and he didn't abide by those rules that the court set. So
how long has he had the kids?
They said it was like a weekend or something like that. They were supposed to do a trip or something like that,
right.
And he didn't drop them off.
He probably had love for. He wanted to spend more time with his kids. Who knows? You know, it was Father's Day. He wanted to spend Father's Day with his kids.
Yeah. Well, he didn't drop them off, and now she said he kidnapped the kids. So of course he could possibly be going to jail for that too.
West Side.
Backhead.
Man, Alan didn't steal those kids. Them his kids. He loved them. He brought them in this world. He had sex with the woman to bring them in the world.
Right. Yeah, he got like what, 5 kids? 4 or 5?
Yeah. So I
don't know. Allen Iverson need to get it together though.
Yeah, he trying to get with his kids, you know what I'm saying? But it look like the wife is interfering.
How's the wife interfering when he told her he would drop him off at a certain time and he didn't drop him off?
Sometimes you just can't tell everything you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? He probably has some secret thing. But he got a 16-year-old, so 16-year-old is able to get away if he or she wanted to.
Not if she ain't driving. She ain't driving. I don't know if it's the oldest kid is a girl or a boy or whatever.
Right.
If they ain't driving, how they going to get away?
Social media.
What, hush? You ain't making no sense.
Social media. They'll text their friend, come get me, or call your mama to come get me.
Oh, you saying like that?
Right.
I guess. I don't know. Allen Iverson, please get it together.
Hold your head, fam.
We room for you, man.
Yeah, hold your head.
We don't want to find you somewhere, you know, dead, done committed suicide or something, depressed, suffering depression. You just got a lot going on, and for me personally to see you out in the streets hanging
right
all the time, you know, you still trying to enjoy life. We get that, but you still got other issues that you need to resolve, and you know, I just pray for you.
It's just a nasty divorce.
Yeah.
I hope it all come around. Everybody.
Yeah.
Coming together.
Right. You know. Right.
Pay yourself first.
Exactly.
Nobody's gonna pay you but you, so you got to pay yourself first before you pay your bills.
Exactly, and you need to pay yourself first with knowledge. Knowledge is key. You have to keep yourself educated. So, for people who's just tuning in to the weekly recap, we forgot to mention this is the weekly recap, vlog number 4. For anybody who's just now tuning into it, this is your first time. Like I said, we do incorporate business topics because that's the whole premise of Stacks Magazine, and this vlog is basically just, you know, part of the magazine and what we put on the website, you know, every day. The same news, we just kind of give our own spin to it, just elaborate on it a little bit more, give our opinions, throw in some humor and things like that. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the people that's been tuning in, and just hopefully everybody appreciate what we're giving and bringing to our videos. But anyway, so the business topic is negotiation strategies that will give you what you want out of life. A lot of people, surprisingly, there's a lot of people out there who's working jobs, for instance, who really don't have the guts or the courage to ask for what they want or what they feel like they deserve. You know, especially when promotions come up. Yeah, whether it could be a merit increase or just a promotion, or it could be a change in your salary grade or a change in your job title. You know, there's people out here that's just working themselves to death and really not getting paid or being acknowledged or receiving accolades for the work that they do. Right. So how do you go about you know, going to your boss or your supervisor and asking for these things. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's all about you making yourself happy. I believe in whatever you do in your life, if it isn't making you happy, then you shouldn't do it, or find other avenues. What are you doing?
Never mind. Checking out Stacks Mag. Not there.
A mess. But, you know, whatever you do, the goal is to make sure that you're living a fulfilled life. You know, over the years, my own life experiences, just going through different things, it's like, and you know, getting older, whatever, you realize what's most important. And for me personally, living out my dreams, you know what I'm saying, a magazine and just writing period is something that I've always been fond of. I've always enjoyed entertainment, music. I grew up on it. I went to school for that. So this is what I ultimately feel as though this is what I should be doing in my life. This is what I have a passion for. This is what I love. So therefore, you know, I started Stacks Magazine. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you do, definitely do something that's making you happy. And if you're in a position and you're not making, like I said, if you're not happy with your salary per se, maybe you can incorporate some of these tips we'll give you as far as negotiating a new salary. So the first tip is be prepared. Definitely have your ducks in a row. And what that means, before you even approach your supervisor, make sure you have all your information kind of mapped out. Like, if you know you received awards, you've gained certifications, if you participated on special project teams, you know, if you added a lot of extra value to your team and your department, write those things down so that you can use them as ammunition when you go talk to your supervisor and say, hey, over the past, you know, year or two that I've been working under your leadership, these are the things that I've accomplished outside of the normal goals, you know, that you gave me that I had to complete. You know what I mean? So definitely always have your information in order before you go. Also be prepared if you're going to ask for a higher salary. Make sure that you do research online. There's many like, what is it, Green Door, I think it's one, Glassdoor is one. You may go to monster.com. These sites have like they do salary comparisons, so you can take your job and some of the tasks that you do and compare it to other positions at other companies or that's within the same industry, and you know, do a comparison. So if you're an accountant, say for instance, go and see what an accountant at, you know, another power company that's in the same state of Georgia or Alabama or whatever, to see how much their accountants are making. If you see that their salary is higher than yours and they have to have these qualifications, then hey, you can use that as ammunition as well to say, hey, you know, according to the standards, hey, I should be making this much. If I have a degree in this, if I have years of these number of years of experience, I should be making this. Don't shortchange yourself. Yeah, definitely don't shortchange yourself. So definitely be prepared. Tip number 2, be confident. Like I said, there's a lot of people that's intimidated. They get intimidated by authority. There's really no reason to be intimidated by authority. It's a way that you can go ask for something. You can be tactful. You don't have to go in there asking for, you know, starting an argument per se. Right. And as a leader, leaders normally will recognize it based on how you approach them. 9 times out of 10, if you approach them in a tactful manner, they will, you know, in a less confrontational manner, then they will accept it. You know what I'm saying? Accept what you're saying. They will make sure they listen to what you're asking for. So definitely go in there. Just keep your head high. You know, if you have to write out your own little speech prior to you going in and memorizing it, then definitely just make sure you have a lot of confidence. Right. 3, always name your price and don't change it. Don't budget. If you know that you're making $40,000 a year and you want to go in there and ask for 50 or 55,000, I mean not 55, $45,000 a year, you feel as though you should be making it because of these things that you've listed, you researched and listed or whatever, then stick with that number. Definitely. And it's always a great negotiation tactic to always start high. If you asking for 50, but you know, hey, they may meet me halfway at 45, then ask for the 50. Because if they look at all your, like I said, your accolades, things you've accomplished and things like that, if they look at that and then they go and take your information to the HR department and they do a whole compensation analysis, then and come back, 9 times out of 10 they will meet you halfway. And you knowing deep inside that, hey, yeah, I'll settle for the 45 because that's 5,000 more than what I was making anyway.
Right.
So always stay high, and you can always use stay high with your number. Is something you can use whether it's in business, you negotiating rates. If you're a promoter and you want to go out and rent a club space or something like that, always aim low in that case, of course. Yeah, not aim high, but aim low, because you know venues are always going to start at their high level, but they are, you know, 9 times out of 10 is going to go back and, you know what I'm saying, meet you halfway. And the last one is stay professional. Don't go in there and act no ass. Like I said, always it's a certain way to be confident.
You get more bees with honey.
Whatever. It's a certain way to be confident and be stern as to what you're asking for, but you can't let it dip over into acting a fool. Right. Because 9 times out of 10, in your conversation with your supervisor, or if you're at the table at a business meeting and you're trying to negotiate some new contract deal, they may come to you wrong because they're trying to catch your bluff. Right. So hell, they might somewhat snap at you. You know what I'm saying? You may feel as though it's a jab, and then you know how we are. We might take it a certain way.
Can't come off threatening. Right.
You can't come off threatening. So always stay professional. Go in there, have your nice suit on. Don't go in there, you know, just be on your A game when you're asking for
somebody else's money.
Especially with somebody else's money. Okay, so that was the negotiation. Okay, so this weekend it was a lot going on in the city.
Yeah.
Too damn much.
Too much.
Okay, so the birthday bash went on this weekend in Atlanta. We hadn't even been keeping up with the time now. Right. But the birthday bash went on. Everybody was in the city. All the clubs was jumping.
Popping.
It was popping. A lot of stuff was going on.
Literally popping.
Ludacris and Lil Fake them jumping on folks in the club. You
just whooped the man.
Whooped the man.
Whooped the man down. Man, tore him out his shirt and everything.
So you saw that when you finally looked at the video?
Yeah, I saw Lil Fake got raw up in that thing, man. Hey. That Bama State coming out of that South Side.
Yeah, that's that South Side.
I feel.
So that went on at Privé nightclub on Friday.
Was that Friday or Thursday?
I don't know. I thought it was Friday, but I don't know. 2 Chainz. That didn't happen this weekend. I forgot we were supposed to start off with that about 2 Chainz robbery and everything. But yeah, he was the headliner for Birthday Bash this year. Brought to us by Hot 107.9 and Radio 1. Right. But you know, this past week or so, he's been in the news in California, going to perform at their little Summer Jam. Summer Jam concert.
San Francisco. Birthday bash.
Right. He done damn near got robbed by 2 dudes prior to that. He was with his whole crew. The thing I gotta say about that is, regardless of if the men ended up stealing something from him or not, which he later cleared up and said they really didn't take anything from or whatever, because I guess the cops came and stuff like that. But thankfully, they spared his life. He didn't get shot. Right. And
that's most important.
That's most important. But that's a sign that he needs some better security, because even though you was with 4 or 5 of your team,
right, and so and
walking in a single file line, right, everybody ran. I mean, it's like it really wasn't no real security around you. Right. So I don't know. Is this something that needs to happen with your whole security team?
Yeah, man, you got a family, you got to be we like your music, we love your music, so we want to see you around. So I hate that was a misfortunate, and I hate that people think that they can get something out you, robbing you. You know,
Right.
man probably have more likely have nothing on him. So
He said he didn't have nothing on him.
nothing on him. And
He
you
was
got
like the chain he had was connected to his wallet. I guess they thought he had a whole bunch of stuff or whatever.
Petty. That's
he
petty.
said he don't walk around with no money on him or nothing like that.
And anybody that
Which is smart because I don't walk around with no money on me either.
And anybody that goes on stackmag.net, they understand the knowledge of these guys don't walk around with wads of money in their pocket like that. That's foolish. So
Right.
stop thinking that way.
Right. So, yeah, but he later went on to 107.9 with Miss Shanika and Empress Cersei, and he talked about just the whole situation. He just broke it down, gave us the details. So he was able to still make it to his Summer Jam thing or whatever, and made it here this weekend to the birthday bash, and they said he did a good job. He brought Drake out.
They say.
That's what they say.
Where you can go? What happened, Bells?
Okay, so I got a Vine. I had a Vine account.
What's your Vine?
It's Miss. I use the same name. I ain't got time to be changing the name. It's Miss Bells ATL on Vine, on Twitter, on Instagram.
Right.
Yeah. So I got a Vine account. So yeah. So I had put in a request to Hot 107.9 a couple of weeks ago. I ain't gonna name the name on who I emailed.
Who is it?
I ain't gonna name the name.
Okay, put it in my ear. Not name it.
No. For media passes, of course, on the media. So, you know, I've been doing a lot of things in the city lately or whatever.
Grinding.
And since I've been really grinding. And, you know, I'm invited to a lot of different events. You know, some could be high profile events or whatever. So I figure, hell, this is a local concert. You know, I should be able to get in. But anyway, so I put in a request for the media passes. I ended up getting an email back from them stating that unfortunately we won't be able to grant you media access to the birthday bash or whatever the case may be. So, you know, I was on my Vine. Saturday, I got in my car. I'm hitting the streets or whatever, heading downtown or whatever.
Venting.
And I was just like, fuck the birthday bash. But I'm still out here though.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt about the whole situation. So, but the ticker is that them dang on fools sent me exclusive content on Sunday to post on my site on Monday. So it's like, that's just a, you know,
Right. Well,
that's just like
18
we ain't gonna invite you, but yeah, you can still, you know, give
Sure.
us a shout out on your magazine by posting this content.
Right.
But it's cool, you know what I mean? You know, I roll with the punches. It's a long way that I gotta go. I'm not a big outlet like Vibe Magazine or Rolling Out or some of these other, you know, media outlets. And, you know, I got to pound the pavement to get where I want, and that's fine because I'm a grinder. I work hard. You know, I roll with the punches. I don't really care. I will succeed at the end of the day. So I know one day I'll be able to be at the birthday bash and get my own exclusive footage for Stacks Magazine.
Birthday bash 18. We got all exclusive interviews.
18. This was 18. You mean 19?
19.
He gone off that
Just
drink.
Water. It was water.
But anyway, so I was venting off of that. Okay, so also I went to I feel like I done talked this whole video.
That's
I'm gonna have to
okay.
let you close it out. But also I went to Young Jeezy, had a partnership celebration. He just partnered with a footwear company called Gourmet, and he had an event at Wish Boutique here in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a nice event. It was very hot though. They had it was hot in there. Everybody was.
You like sweating and stuff?
I was sweating. And you know, it took him a while to get there, or whatever, right?
Right.
So, you know, Jeezy, my favorite rapper.
Your favorite rapper?
Yeah.
He still your favorite rapper?
Right. That might be a little questionable now.
Right.
Let me tell y'all why it's questionable. Alright, so y'all know all my friends know Jeezy, my favorite rapper.
Jeezy.
I got every album. I listen to all the songs. Down to know all the words.
Right.
So I'm in there with my photographer friend, Kayla. She was in there taking pictures for me or whatever. So I'm like, okay, when he comes, she was like, let's go over here by the door so when he get ready to come out, it might be easier for you to be able to take a picture with him, right? So I'm like, okay. So I'm standing over here by the door. So here he come. Here he come. This is at the end of the event. Here he come with his big, he got huge bodyguards. Here he come with his bodyguards. They walking in a single file line real fast, going toward the front door so he can exit. And I'm like, he walking past me.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, I was like, what up? I was like, Jeezy, what up? And I had my hand out like this, like, maybe he'll stop and shake my hand at least.
Right.
If he shake my hand, then I got time to say, can I get my picture? You know what I'm saying? May I have a picture with you or whatever. But anyway, so I had my hand out. You know that nigga kept walking. You know that nigga kept walking. He didn't shake my hand. He did turn around and say, "What's up?"
Well, he said, "What's up?"
I guess that's what Kayla said too. He said she was like, at least he said something to you. He said, "Hey," but I was kind of salty after that. I was like, "He ain't gonna be my favorite rapper no more."
He hurt your feelings?
Yeah.
Well, Jeezy didn't stop. He had some other ongoing issues this weekend. He's supposed to show up at birthday bash. He was a secret artist that's supposed to show up.
And he didn't show up.
He was a no-show at the birthday bash. He was in the city. He had a party later on that night at the compound, but he was a no-show at the birthday bash. We don't know why. But you can always give us that interview, Jeezy. We with you. We want to know what was the reason.
I'm with you. I'm going to stay down with you. Even though you ain't shake my hand.
Right.
You said, hey. You said, what's up?
Right.
And I swear, I'm probably your number one.
Wow.
Well, but I'm going to have my day to interview him, and I will bring this up. Like, you didn't shake my hand as if, like...
He going to be like...
I don't remember that. That's what they all like. I don't remember that.
Right. Keep it moving.
And I will talk about something else, though.
What is it?
It was another rapper there. Who I tried.
On my ass. Hey! I won't say that, Lil. Y'all know what we talking about.
But his breath was so hot.
But there's a reason. Why? Ain't no reason for your breath being hot, but there was a reason. You got that gold in his mouth. Gold all in my. Gold all in my.
Man.
He probably ate.
And he was supposed to take a picture with me too when he got back from. They had a little area downstairs where they was doing some other little interviews or whatever. He was supposed to take a picture too, but he, by the time he walked back up, he walked out or whatever. But I'm like, dude, when he was like, I'll be right back, I was like,
don't come back. Don't come back. Take the gold out your mouth. Scope in your mouth. Take the gold out, put the scope in.
Take some that.
Golly.
But anyway.
Golly, it's bad. It's bad, man.
I don't know. But that shit was funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny, but it was funny when I thought about it later. I'm like,
was it hurt? Did it hurt you?
You ain't come take no picture with me. Your breath was smelling like this.
Breath smelling like boo boo.
But I'll still interview you one day.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You gonna put something on your dog like that?
I don't know. I may have to.
Golly.
But yeah. So that was pretty much it for the weekend. You know, you went out.
Yeah, I went out. Me and my fam, we went out. Saw a couple of spots. First day was good. Me and my brother, we went out. Second day, it was okay. I'd rather leave second day to the. I don't want to talk about second day, but We did good the first day. It was great. You know, so I enjoyed myself. Went out by the, tried to get in Centennial Park. Couldn't get in. APD was tripping. Wanted to see Goody Mob. You know, Goody Mob back on the scene. Sell therapy for y'all fools. Couldn't get in, so it was a good weekend for us. What about Big Month?
Right.
Shout out to Big Month down in Montgomery, King Hill.
What you said?
What I text you? Big Month.
Shout out to Pearl. That's what we call her, Pearl.
Pearl, my world.
Pearl said, in order to make the show more interesting, I need to make sure I keep on a low cut blouse and change my wigs out every day. Number one, this ain't no wig, honey. But if you want this to be a different color or a different style every week, Pearl, you need to send me the money every week.
Big Month. Shout out to Big Month.
And I ain't wearing no low cut blouse either, so hey, this about all you gonna get to see. This ain't no peep show.
Shout out to the freaks.
This ain't no peep show. Anyway, shout out to everybody in the Gump.
Right. Birmingham.
That, that mess with us.
West Atlanta.
That F's with us the long way.
Yeah. What name was King Hill?
King Hill. Yeah.
Breeze Crest.
Yeah.
All those people.
Shout out to all of y'all. So that's gonna wrap up the show for today. Vlog number 4. Head now is on Twitter. I don't know if we mentioned it last time or not. We probably did, but Head is on Twitter. You can follow him at HEADASU on Twitter. He's on Vine at HEAD. You can follow me at Miss Bells ATL on Twitter and everywhere else. I'm Miss Bells ATL. Definitely follow Stacks Mag everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, all of that. Follow us and definitely go to our website, stacksmag.net, every day to check out the latest information, entertainment news, business, and finances. Definitely check us out on an everyday basis, and we'll see y'all next week. Oh, no, we won't. I'll be out of town, so we're going to skip a week.
Right.
But before July 4th, you'll have a new video.
Right.
So, holla at y'all later.
All right.
Peace.
4-2.